Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome back to some more Wreckfest online. Now we're driving, well, not we, I'm driving the KTM Crossbow. I don't think there's enough space for all of us to be sitting inside this car. So the KTM Crossbow GT4. This car was recently added to the game as part of the Top Gear car pack a few weeks ago. And we're finally getting around to testing it around Suzuka. This is the Endurance GT division, so the car is actually part of the Forza GT division, meaning you can race it in this hopper. And it's good to see because it's something a little bit different. A lot of the other cars perform in a very similar way, the BMW, the Porsche, the Aston Martin, so it's nice to have something a little bit different. This car really does focus on handling. The top end isn't amazing, but I have tuned it somewhat to try to cater for the top end. Now Suzuka is one of those circuits where, yes, there are loads of corners, but you do have fairly lengthy straights leading up to Spoon, just after Spoon, and of course the main straight. So this section we're coming up to here, the hairpin, anything before this on the circuit, anything earlier than that corner there, very much a handling based area. But then from here to the end of the lap, a lot of straight lines, and by straight line I mean a long curve, but it's flat out. So we're going to be testing. It's a good way to test sort of everything on the car, all the components. Is it good in a straight line? Is it good for handling? And whenever we get these new cars into this division, it's always good to give them a try. This is probably one of the divisions where I've really tried most of the cars, so I know which ones are good, which ones aren't. So we're about to find out if this one is one of the better ones. A fairly solid start so far, up into 9th. The Porsche driving very, very wide through 130R. We make a bit of contact as it rejoins into the final chicane. Looking down the outside, the Porsche makes a really good recovery actually through the middle, gaining 2 positions back into 7th, where they get shoved wide by the Mercedes, back down to 8th. I'm up into 7th now. So we can test the straight line speed here. Let's see how good it is as we get right into the slipstream of the car ahead. The Porsche behind, not quite close enough to go for the move into turn 1 or into turn 2, although he's looking up the inside, just giving the car whip and keep the position. Just scanning ahead, someone is involved in a big accident. He's being flipped over on the circuit, just ghosts out in time. I think I might have just got underneath him though, had he not ghosted out. Mercedes a bit tentative through the S's. The Porsche ahead has dropped down as a result of the carnage ahead. Mercedes takes a poor line. I'm going to go around the outside. That kind of shows off the handling ability of the car. So up into 5th. The Mercedes seemed a bit slow on the first third of that lap, so it was ideal to try and get past them as soon as we could. Into Degna 2. Now the car kind of understeered into here. The tune is by me, and I'm not normally the best at tuning, so definitely need some work in terms of the performance into that corner and way too deep into the hairpin. Actually fairly tricky to drive on the exit of the corners as well. Just see they're spinning up the wheels. There's a big queue behind of cars waiting to get past Super GT. All aboard the Super GT train for now. I'm up in 5th, perhaps punching above my weight at the moment. Now this division is, well, I mean, I was going to say this division is one of the few that people really know the best cars, so they're always going to pick them, but that's kind of true of most classes now. I mean, the game has been out for nearly a year, so by this point most classes would be full of the best cars, or people using the best cars. Losing out massively down that back straight actually, so the KTM definitely on the back foot on the straights. And yes, I did cut 130R, you're going to have to deal with that. Still getting used to the handling. And I think I missed the apex on the first lap. Big moment on the curb. So again, that kind of shows off my lack of tuning ability. The car really not liking the curb. Losing a couple of seconds and plenty of momentum. I'm going to go defensive into the first corner against the BMW. And just about get the job done to keep 6th place. So what we can do here really, it's a long race. These races typically last 20 minutes or so. Into the final corner. This is the end of lap number 3 now. Car going through here, okay. Bit of contact, it looks like, between the 2 Porsches up ahead. The guy on the left just turns across, pushes him into the wall, and he's triggered a big incident as I go straight into the back of him. Let's have a look again. I think I couldn't quite tell what he wanted to do there. The Porsche on the left, it looks like he wanted to go into the pit lane, and he wasn't really paying attention to the fact that there was someone next to him, and therefore it wasn't really possible. So we've got loads of damage. Best thing to do, as silly as it sounds, is to drive backwards up the circuit and then go into the pit lane. The pit lane is just there. Luckily, I suppose that's the best place for an accident to happen if you're going to have one, just before the pit lane. So resuming in 12th, not ideal, given that he was actually in with a chance there of getting well inside the top 10, but now we're going to lose out quite a lot of positions. We have still got a chance of gaining a decent position up into 9th by this point. A couple of cars pitted, and looking at the back of another KTM as we go into turbo engaged mode. So through Spoon, can we get the better of our fellow KTM Crossbow user on the exit of Spoon? Now let's see exactly how the tune is different. I mean, I don't know what tune he's using, but I've definitely geared mine slightly towards top end, and you can see just at the end of the straight now, just slowly beginning to gain, mainly as a result of the tune. Slipstream basically does nothing on this game, and has literally zero effect. Up the inside from a long way back, car feels a bit stiff, car not reacting particularly well to the curbs, but that may just be because of the tune rather than the car, my lack of tuning once again. So crossing the line, is he going to be able to get a slingshot on me? No, because you can see the gap was actually gaining. The gap was getting bigger, so I don't think he's going to have a chance into the first corner. That's another way of just monitoring if the car behind is getting a slingshot on you and has a chance of overtaking. Just look at that number, is it getting bigger? If it is, then they're not really getting any closer, they're getting further away. So up into 8th, solid position, just going to try to keep it nice and tidy with the 3 3/4 laps remaining to the end of the race. The Corvette ahead, we were fairly close to him about a lap or so ago, but we lost plenty of time. It just shows you can easily lose a second just by going for an overtake. And this is the situation at the end of the race. It was a fairly calm race, not too much going on, but we did eventually catch up with another Corvette. You see the yellow Corvette 2 positions ahead. The gap between myself and him remained fairly constant, but it was myself and this guy where we had a chance of an actual fight going into the final lap. So 1 lap left to go. Can we gain 7th, possibly 6th if he makes some sort of errors on lap 9 of 9 as we cross the line now? So setting a 2:03.8, which is our best lap so far. I know that in this division you should be aiming for 2:01s. 2:01 is a very quick time, so I'm a good couple of seconds off in this car. But the racing's still always good. As long as you can have a good race, even if it's for 7th place, then I'm not too worried. Just sticking my nose up the inside to make him sort of get out of position, and he kind of just drives a little bit wide, but then resumes the racing line. So through Dunlop, a bit of a nudge in the rear end, he just about keeps it under control. Just trying to really get as close as I can out of Degner, and then into the hairpin. That's often one of the best overtaking opportunities. Into Degner 2, goes a little bit deep and runs slightly wide in the exit, but doesn't really penalise him too much as we now wind round into the hairpin. I am later on the brakes, going to go deep and cut back for that late apex. You can see here the difference between the Corvette and the KTM Crossbow on the straight line section. You see he's just edging away slightly. That may be my chance gone. My best chance now will be into the final chicane after 130R, and then the final chicane. A very good overtaking opportunity, and just trying to really get our line through here. Absolutely correct, and I think we've nailed that probably about as best as we've done it in the race. We have to absolutely maximise this slipstream. Not that it does anything, as we've said, but we're going to try to get everything we can on the run up to 130R. Here we go. Through here, okay. Grazing the apex beautifully. He runs a little bit wide. That is going to give me a helping hand into the hairpin. He goes very defensive, and to be fair, he blocked the inside very well. And I would have had to have gone all the way around the outside. On the exit of the final chicane, winding around the final turn towards the main straight. Not quite in position to go for the move, but it was a good defensive drive from Energy Driver 94 on the final lap. Now, do you want to see a dirty start around VIR? Of course you do, that's why you're here. Let's see how it all progresses into the first corner. It just gets really cosy, and it's just, I don't think anyone's really being sinister there. It's just too many cars in such a close proximity, and it's very hard to control your car when there's 20 other people directly around you. So we're going to recover in 16th place. Not ideal at all. And this is the situation at the end of lap 1, start of lap 2. Stupidly shift down way too early, engine brake, engine damage, and yes, just one of those typical rage quits. Do you want to see another dirty start around VIR? Of course you do, that's why you're here. Let's see what this one has in store for us. Seeing myself on the outside, Lamborghini out of nowhere just punts the 2 innocent bystanders wide. Everyone else comes weighing in. Just your typical day really, not too much else going on. And I did say this is Wreckfest, and well, that kind of proves it. That guy's just lost, I don't know where he's going. And on lap number 4, emerging from the dark shadows comes this dark BMW with a nice total 90 rejoin, perpendicular to the circuit, nice stuff. And well, I got so rage induced that I just drove into that wall and committed suicide. Now, Prague, can we have a final hurrah in the KTM Crossbow? A good race at last. Suzuka was a good race, but the result wasn't all that great. Aiming for that inside line, the launch on this car is very good. Just trying to set myself on the inside line, it's a good method. Just try and crawl around the inside line, often the best way to go. Plenty of carnage here, Super GT effect, Moses has made an appearance. The main method there really, it looks like I get really lucky. But as soon as I can see a situation like that developing, off the gas, give yourself as much time as possible to react. Don't slam the brakes because the guy behind will just smash into you. Just kind of off the gas, just try to judge where the cars are spinning. And Forza is really good practice. If you do it enough times, which you do, basically every race you're going to be doing that, trying to avoid the carnage, then you get good at it after a while. And I don't know how many races I've done in Forza over the years. It's probably at least 1,000, hundreds at the minimum. No, it's going to be that in the thousands, I would have thought, or at least 1,000. And well, so therefore over 1,000 times I've had to deal with the carnage. But it's a good start so far, up into 4, so on the outskirts of the top 10. So avoiding the usual anarchy at turn 1, and that's set us on our way to having a good race here. So looking at the outside, and to be honest, that wasn't really on. I thought maybe sometimes people just leave a car whip or two on the outside, and I thought maybe I'll try going for it. It wasn't really the best move. Make contact, and I was lucky that he didn't spin out there, so I could have easily caused an incident. But we're going to try again into the final corner. It's actually a good overtaking opportunity here. A bit of contact, but we're through up into 3rd place. So the KTM seems to be a little bit better here. Using the tune of Jeweler DT here this time. It seems to be a little bit better than mine. And by a little bit better, I mean about 5 billion times better. My tune wasn't all that great. So, coming through the long left onto the famous bridge here at Prague. I've actually walked across this bridge a couple of months ago, and it's actually, you know what, I appreciate the way that they've made this circuit. A lot of it is fictional, like this kind of road here. I don't think it really actually exists. But this is the main square here, and I've actually walked through this square. And after walking through Prague, I can actually appreciate this circuit a bit more. So up to 2nd, and looking ahead, you see the leader has come up to someone. Always scanning ahead for that, always seeing, is there someone who could possibly ruin our race? There it is, there's the back marker. Has he been involved with an incident? In an incident with the leader? It looks like he has, because I've just gained about 500 feet. And here he is. I think he's got damage because he's really slow through the chicane. And just obviously not paying attention, I go straight into the chicane of death. And a couple of other people follow me in there. That's the thing though, the car didn't really ghost out in time, and I just kind of blocked the whole road. So anyway, a little bit later in the race, we had to pit there. This guy, back marker, just feels like trying to ram me off. I kind of failed in the attempt, didn't really give me any damage or slow me down really. So kind of a shocking attempt. Later on, this guy, and I almost follow him into the wall, he goes into the wall. I'm up to second, and this time just grazing off the tyres. So, I mean, I criticised the fact that there's so many tyres everywhere all the time, but that time it saved me. This guy, well, just look at that. Shocking attempt, absolutely shocking. And yeah, some people are just so bad at ramming, like as if your life isn't bad enough anyway that you're resorting to ramming in some silly game. But you're actually so crap at it as well. Anyway, up into the lead. I'm in first place now, and we're about to witness something really, really clean, just genuinely amazing. We got that stupid other back marker, but this guy just pulled over to the side, just backed off, let me go. You might be thinking, oh, he's about to ram you off, but he didn't. That was just a genuine, nice racing move. Just moved out of the way for lap traffic, or he is the lap traffic. But that was it was good to see that, and refreshing, because you just don't really get that. For every one of him, there's about 5 billion of the other backmarkers who is attempting to ram you off. Now that was an amazing line through there, pushing the track and the car to the absolute limit. This guy is going to make another appearance. It was kind of a dodgy situation. He actually moved over that time to let me go. Quite what's going on in his mind, I don't know. Anyway, a bit further round, and I've gone into the bloody wall again. That wasn't even the chicane of death, that was the pre-chicane of death. And was claimed me today. Final lap now. Can we gain one more position past Aston Martin? He's gone in way too hot into the chicane. He's just driven into the wall. The chicane has claimed another victim. And even though I should have won this race, I'm going to finish third. Couple of mistakes. But oh well. The KTM Crossbow is a solid car. Not the best, but well worth a try. I hope you enjoyed the video as always, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on the KTM Crossbow, and perhaps any other cars you'd like to see in this division. But yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe for more. I shall see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.